And nothing, man. The idea of this live is to share with everybody how to use Power Automate on one of your flows. So on one of
Mm.
your actually business needs. What you showed me last time, you were searching for different houses on different websites. So the idea of today is to just show Power Automate Desktop how it works, and yeah, answer any
Can we
questions.
go
Go,
over?
yeah.
Can we do a different process today, a more simpler one? We can do the property one another time, but for this one, more simpler one, I think more people can relate to. I want to do like liking and commenting on social media posts through Instagram.
Okay, all right. We can try that. Let me see if I have an Instagram account that I could use.
There's another business that I kind of help out with, and they do a lot of social media stuff. So I want to see if this will be able to utilize Power Automate just to like and comment on other people posts based on a certain like account hashtag or things like that.
Yeah, okay. I think that sounds good. Let me share you my screen as well. Or how about you share your screen and then you show me what it involves, what the process involves.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so Instagram, kind of go to search. This would be an example, but something that actually gets done. We look for a certain brand that's kind of similar to this brand. We go to tag images, kind of go down a very simplistic row, kind of like it, add a comment, probably add a emoji, things like that, post, and then go to the next post. Yeah, just go to the next post and kind of do the same thing. But
But
that,
with
that that's pretty much it.
Okay, all right. We could do this, and then there is really lots of different ways that this could be improved, meaning adding AI to make the comments actually add some value to the posts and maybe engage a conversation. So that it's not maybe the same post like your post rocks or something like that, but actually the AI gets the image, it processes it, it thinks about an answer based on some instructions that you gave it, and then writes the comment. But let's start with the basic process, and then we can improve it from there. I'll share my screen, and then let me just know if you can see.
Will we be able to record this call, or will it be recorded?
It's live, man. It's live on
Okay.
my YouTube channel, so it's stays recorded, and it's gonna be on my YouTube channel forever, for the end of times. Cool, man. Let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so just maybe you can see my screen, right? You can see, right? So walk me through the first steps of the
Yeah, I can
process.
see.
Does it have to go to a specific account, or I forgot how it started the process? Just
Yeah,
like,
it's going to a specific account, like an account that'd be similar to yours, like AI type counts or
how
the
do I
brand that I'm working with.
how would I
They
find
pretty much.
calling on
how would
Ukraine's
I find that
allies to
kind of
apply more.
account?
Oh,
What?
you can go to the search bar, type in hashtag AI bots.
Ah, you're associating me with AI bots.
No, I just use that as an example.
Ah, it's a good
Use that
example.
example. Now you have a lot more in-depth experience and
No,
knowledge base
AI
than just
bots
simply AI.
are awesome.
But yeah, we'll just click on the account,
Like this one.
go to their main page. Yeah, go to their main page.
And now we want what is the difference between posts and tagged?
We go to we go to tag.
And we just like and
We go to
comment,
that
right?
first one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome. Easy, easy peasy. So we can start our automation. I think so. The idea behind every automation is to do as little steps as possible and should try to automate as little steps as possible. So instead of kind of going to the Instagram homepage and then like searching for profiles, maybe I have a list of profiles in an Excel sheet or something that I want to like comment on all of their posts. So I prepare like a list in Excel sheet of 20 accounts, and after that I AI bots, and after that I would start my automation. Let's just use this account for example purposes. So instead of kind of doing all of that stuff and then clicking on post reels tag, I can see that if I just change and insert here the name of a account, it is always going to be a different account. So I could start my automation theoretically, just not theoretically, practically from here. Because if I were to go to, for example, like let's say another account, like this account right here, and then I go to tagged, you see, it's just, this is the only part of the link that changes. So if we have this in an Excel sheet, we could tell our automation, look, we have all of these accounts, all of these links tagged. You're gonna repeat the steps that I'm gonna tell you right now. And the steps are going to be click on the image, like it, and then comment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So have like how would I get the list of accounts though? Would I have to do it one by one and save it on Excel sheet, or is
Yeah,
there
you could do it like
export?
that. You could build another automation that searches for, that goes to search, types in AI
Yes.
bots, and just gets all of these accounts. But
It's
either
kind of
way,
tedious.
even if you're like automating, all right, I'm not gonna do it for this account or that account. Either way, it's better than starting from the Instagram homepage, then going on the search, searching for what you need. Like for example, like AI bots, searching for AI bots, going to here, going to tagged, and then like this. We can also do it like this. It's just a different process that maybe, yeah, whichever one you prefer. You tell me. Should we do it from scratch, like starting from search and then searching for something and then going to the account? Did you get that?
Yeah, I did. And like I was able to do this. This was I was testing with browser use. I was able to do it with browser use, but it
It's expensive with browser use, and
using
it's not that
yeah,
accurate and not that reliable 100%. So it does work, it does perform the
yeah,
things, but it is consuming loads of tokens, and yeah, it's still not 100% stable. This steps of automations, you're always going to repeat it on this many accounts. Let's say you have like, I don't know, you're managing 20 accounts. You put your accounts in an Excel sheet, and then you have to perform all of these operations on all of these different accounts. So that could be one way, but the nice thing about the tool is that it's very flexible to use, meaning that you can actually automate anything that comes to your mind. So let's just start with a basic automation. We're going to call it Instagram like and comment. Name this meaningfully, because you'll get you'll get frustrated once you have many of them and you can't find the one that you need, and you
yeah.
end
There's
up,
no folder creation. I didn't
you,
like that.
yeah, there's unfortunately no folders that you can kind of group them, so you have to be creative with the names. All right.
Would GenSpark be able to do something like this?
Say what?
Would GenSpark be able to do something like this?
No, absolutely not. Jasperk would create you slides, create your PDF, a web page, do some research for you, but absolutely not kind of automate the browser. It has tools that can do different things, but yeah, no connection to LinkedIn or to Instagram or to whatever, especially because some of the things that you might want to do, there is no API for them. So only
Mm-hmm.
kind of you can do it with like a tool like this for right now. For right now. So, but it is the nice thing about the tool is that once you kind of get into it, it is super easy. So you did pick Instagram, which is not the easiest website, but it is still going to be easy. So what we want to do, we want to start our automation from here, from tagged, click on each one of these and comment. But just for kind of explanation purposes, we're gonna kind of go to search for AI bots, go onto the first account. We could also do it like now. This is too complicated. So let's do it like we've said. Go to start our automation from here and then like and comment each one of these posts. So there is different ways that you can start building. You can start building using the different actions that you have here. So for example, if we wanted to do this that we're talking about, we would go to the browser automation and select something like start new Chrome. Every time you add one of these actions, a panel like this to help you configure it is going to appear. So in this panel, you would add, for example, like the link of the page you want to go to, add any other parameters that we want to add. I like to add also to close the web browser or close any pop-ups if they appear, and that's pretty much it. So we have right now a first action. This first action also has created something that's called a variable, and it's a variable called browser. Now this variable called browser is going to allow us to work with this instance of the browser throughout our automation. Now let's just run this process and see if it works, if it opens a new browser. And this is going to be our first automation.
Should I be creating it on my end as well?
Yeah, if you want, or you can just kind of follow along, ask me questions when you don't understand, or yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna open up Power Automate as well.
Oh, I don't think I'm logged in here. So let's log into Facebook, or let's just use Microsoft. So here I'm using Google Chrome. Let's change that and let's use Microsoft Edge. Easy peasy. We just change the action that we want. We add the link and just repeat the same actions as before. Here I made a little mistake. We have to close it and let's run it and just see if it works. Now once you install Power Automate, you can install it from your on any Windows machine. You just go to the shop, or you search here for Power Automate. So this is going to either bring you to the app that is installed by default on your computer because it's from Microsoft, or to the shop Microsoft store where you can download it for free. Install the extensions as well, because the extensions are going to allow you to to work with this automation. So here it has loaded. Now let's go back to our process. I have a few too many tabs open. Okay, all right, so it opened, it worked. That was the first step. So the most difficult thing, difficult thing, because this tool is really simple to use, is creating connections. So what do we have to do? We have to click here, and then we have to click here. Now to do this, again, we're going to go to Power Automate and use these actions that we have. So
But you stop sharing your screen.
I stop sharing my screen. Oh, sorry. Let's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can create any action that is here, and all of the actions that we're going to need for our automations are pretty much here. So for example, we want to do a click. A click is right here. Click a link on a web page, click download link. We need to click a link on a web page. We can also go into web form filling. Here we have, for example, like populate text, press button on web page. This is not a button, this is a link. So we're going to click a link on the web page. We're just going to drag and drop the action, and you see this first web browser instance is using the browser variable that was created by the first action. So here, this is another new thing, UI element. So this UI element is going to be the connection to the browser that we're going to create. So in here on the Instagram page, we need to create a connection to click on this button. So we can do this in different ways, and yeah, one of the ways is this: click link on web page, UI element, add a UI element. Now, once we click on that, everything is going to disappear, and this little screen is going to appear. And once I hover my mouse over different elements, you're going to see a red hover mark. This is going to tell us what we can click on. So I'm going to click, for example, on this image right here. All right, I'm going to save this, and after that, so we saw the actions on the left side. On the right side, we have variables. This is where some information variables are going to be stored, and also the UI elements, connections with the browser that we created. This is the first connection that we created. We can see a screenshot of it right here, and if we double click inside of it, we can see the kind of the elements of this connector. Now this is pretty messed up connection, so sometimes you have to fine-tune your kind of your elements, your connections, to make sure that they work. It's pretty easy to do. You just kind of select different values from here, and then you test it and see if it works. So let's test this one, see if it works. It has selected a different selector than the one that we wanted. So let's try it again and make sure what it's selecting. Okay, no, it's selecting this one, the first selector. Okay, so this seems to be working. Let's just kind of good practice is to close the page, run it again, and see if it works again once the page reloads, because sometimes the selectors or something might change, and it's just good practice to, every time you add an action, unless you're 100% sure of what you're doing, it's good practice to kind of good practice to try it out. So all right, so we have it here, and is something happening? No, nothing is happening. Let's see what is going on. It's looking for a selector, and we have our first error. So it's telling me, yeah, this element could not be found. So since Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, those pages are very hard to automate because they are built to be hard to automate by bots, we have to fine-tune these selectors. Now, this is a little bit of a annoying or maybe boring part, but yeah, once we just have to do it once, and once we get the right selector, we can we can be satisfied, and our automation is going to work forever. So let's just get it again and just see what the other selector looks like. So this is the first one, this is the second one. So I can see that what is changing is this. So every time I open and close the page, what changes is this thing right here. So this allows me to go in the selectors right here, and then find this selector, which is the first one right here, and then do this little trick, IPOM. So this last two things are changing. So I can try to do something like this, contains, and then erase this, and just be like, yo, this is just gonna contain this and is gonna have all of this. But I could also do something a little bit easier and be like, hey, we're gonna just look for a div with an ID of that contains this, remove this, and just uncheck all of these because I don't think we really need them. And once you are done with kind of playing around with your selectors, you can test them out and see if they work. So this one worked. Let's see this one. Not really sure what it selected. Let's just add, this is account. Let's just try it again. No, this did not work. Let's just try with one. No, okay, this does not work. So let's go here. Okay, nothing doesn't matter. I was just trying out things. So now that we've changed our selectors, let's see if our automation is going to work. So it requires a little bit of playing around with those selectors to get a little bit familiar with them. Right now, what you saw was a little bit confusing, maybe. If you have any questions, kind of. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
But it also makes me more curious on the current tools that's in the market that's not able to specifically do this and how valuable the person that understands how to do this becomes. So I'm understanding that more and more, like how valuable this skill set is of understanding this.
Exactly, man. This is kind of also in my line of work. The next colleagues that I'm looking to work with, they have to know skills in automation and kind of doing things quickly and yeah, because really otherwise it's a little bit of a waste of time. So right now we're having a issue with having too many of these things open. So let's close a couple and try one more time. And it is really, it doesn't only give you the ability to potentially build your own, solutions, like to build your own automations, but also to outsource these things to, okay, all right, so it is working. It is clicking on something. So it clicked on this one, but not on the first one. So so
Okay,
let's,
click the second one. But it still was able to click on it though.
yeah, I was able to click on it. It clicked on the first one, but that's because I need to do a little bit more work in fine-tuning this selector right here. So let's see if we can maybe improve it just a little bit. So it clicked on that one, but we want to click actually on the first one. So let's add a new selector. Let's just get this again. Okay, I think this could do. And we're going to just, to have it equal to the other one, we're just going to do this, contains, and delete this. Okay. So let's just see these selectors. So this one is like this, and this one is like this. So they're kind of the same. So what is happening? We're going to be clicking always on the same one. So we need to find a way that is going to allow us to click on the first one, on the second one, on the third one, and so forth. So I think we could potentially do that maybe like this. Let's see. Ordinal is usually the if you have a list of elements, it is kind of the order of those elements. If you have like two buttons next to each other, the first one is going to be 1 and the second one is going to be 2. That's kind of more or less the idea. So this did not work. Maybe on the link, let's try on the link. We got it. We finally found it. Now if I change this to 2, let's see if it's going to click on the following link. No, but let's see if I change it to 3. No, so it's not this one. So let's try a different one. As you can see, it is a little bit of a boring process. I will find it sooner or later which one of these is the, I think I found it. Maybe let's see. Maybe not. No, this one is not going to be it, for sure not. Could be section. Maybe the element above the section. One more element above the section. So if I select 0, in theory I should be selecting the oh, I think we found it. I should be selecting the first one. Now if I change this to 1, now why did we do all of this? Oh, god damn it. So this one we remove and we try it like this. This should be this one. No. Okay, we still haven't been able to find it. This is one of the hardest selectors of any web page that I have seen so far. So don't get discouraged.
I'm not discouraged. It's a learning process. But we like learning as we do, though.
Yeah, exactly. just out of curiosity, but I don't think it's going to work. Well, I had not that many tries left. Oop. No, this didn't work because it failed on the last one.
So is there any point where you
Yep.
can do this with a drag and drop with different actions and also add the recorder option as well?
Yeah, I mean, we could have done this with the recorder. It would have been easier, but like this, you kind of learn a little bit more. So in this case, so what is it that we have to do? We have to click on one image, then we have to click on another image, or actually we can just click on one image and click on the next button to go on the next picture. Okay, that's actually much better. So I think, so instead of going here, clicking on the first one, closing it, clicking on the second one, what we are going to do, I think is going to be easier. Just click on the first one because we managed to get to here, and then to go to the next picture, we're just going to try to click on this next button right here. All right, let's do that. So we got the click down. Let's just see if it's going to work again. Yeah, it's stuck again. We have to close a couple of windows again. So let's close this, let's stop it, and let's try again. And happens often with automations that you gotta think creatively about how to do a automation. So not always the way that you perform it is going to be the best way. There's, okay, so it worked, it managed to click on here. So next thing is click here and add a comment. All right, so next step, we could use the recorder. Let's just kind of give a shot to the recorder. So as soon as the recorder is active, there's going to be a little window that comes up that is going to allow me to kind of record my steps. It gets a little bit messy, I don't like to use it, but can help create kind of like a basic skeleton of the automation, or yeah, of the process that you're doing. So I click on the record. I'm going to first click on this little heart right here. So let's see if the red mark is going to appear right here. So we're going to click on this, and then we're going to click here. Actually, we're going to click on this. Does something happen if we click on this? Okay, we get, so we can right click on this, or we can just type some text and then click on post. Or can we just hit enter? That might be even easier. Okay. And then the next thing is going to be to click on this button right here. So yeah, this is not why I don't like to use the recorder so much, because it just gets too many different actions that happen on the browser. All right, I think we got
I
everything
got you.
we need. Let's just click done and we'll just fix it inside of our automation. All right, so it created the steps from here, from this first comment until here. So let's take a look at what it created. So it launched new Microsoft Edge. We don't really need that, so I can just delete it, delete the comments. And then we have click on SVG, and populate text field, wait for 2 seconds, and then hit enter. So I think that could potentially just work out of the box. But before we try it out of the box, let's just take a look at the things that it created. So this is our first selector, and this is the comment, and this is the area. Where is the heart? Did we not click on the heart?
Yeah, you did.
I did, but it
Our
didn't
Jax
get
didn't
it.
delete it.
Yeah. So let's add it. Add UI element. And this thing is going to appear. And let's get it. All right. Let's just double click inside of it, see, okay. So what does this mean? This means that there is going to be, if the layout of our page changes, yeah, we might not be able to match our selector. So, but whatever, let's keep it as it is and just try our automation out of the box.
So you're saying if Instagram updates its UI,
if
those things change as well?
Exactly. Or if you're running the automation like this and the elements change and you have less or different div elements, like here, for example, like here it's like this is going to be I think a different HTML configuration, not 100% sure. So, and also if LinkedIn adds like different things. So yeah, unfortunately, what I'm seeing on these selectors, and these are actually some of the hardest selectors that I've ever seen, that you don't have actually a usable class that makes a lot of sense on these things. It's all randomly generated every time. So no ID, no class is gonna make it a little bit hard for us to match, to create a stable connection. But alternatively, we could use an image as a reference, but it is slower. So let's just try it like this and see what happens. So click on the like, click on the comment, populate text field on the web page. Let's run this, and if for some magic miracle this works right out of the box, that's amazing. All right, so far so good. So now in theory it should click on the like, but it is not clicking on the like. Let's see what's up. Click on the like, SVG not found. So let's play again around with it. So let's first test out this selector. So it's telling me that it exists. Now let me see on the page where it finds it. Let's repeat this process one more time. No, it did not find it. So let's add a new a new one, and let's see what's the difference between the one that we got previously and the one that we are getting right now. So all right, here we have, no, come on. Let's delete this, let's add a new one. Okay, control and click, and then you get the selector. All right, so it looks like it is actually pretty similar, more like identical. So let's just test this again and see if it's not finding it. All
So
right,
the other issue was it not finding the post, and now this issue is it's not finding the like UI.
yeah, but we're gonna use this SVG. We're gonna use this for we're gonna use a image as backup. So if it doesn't find it, and if we have a hard time finding our selectors, and this is really the most extreme case of selectors that I have seen, we're just gonna use an image. So it's gonna look for this, and let's test it out. It managed to find it. So yeah, let's just use this. This is probably going to fail. Okay, I get it. What's the difference? This has, yeah, but we don't care. We're just gonna use the image. So what I did is image as fallback, and let's see if that is going to work. So here we have, this is going to click on the like, and after that we're going to click on the comment. Let's see if the comment has probably the same issue. So we are going to use the same thing as previously. So I don't want to tag. All right. And then the text area, let's see how is the selector looking. Probably we're going to have the same issue, so I'm just going to try to do something like this. Actually, uncheck all of these because I think there's only one text area. All right, let's test it. Okay, it found the text area, so I think that one is going to be good. And then we click enter, and that is going to post the comment. In theory, it sounds promising. Let's check it out and see where it's going to fail. All right, first step, opening the browser. Now don't tell me it's stuck again. Yeah, we are stuck on the first action. It's failing to assume control, so we just have to close a couple of browsers. And let's try running it again. Okay, let's open on this other browser. All right, first step. Now it takes longer also, and this works, and now we hit enter. Okay, so it's working. The next step is going to click on this button right here. All right, so we're gonna do the same. That was a really bad post I made, but it doesn't really matter. It's just for testing purposes. We're gonna change this here. We're not gonna send this. We're gonna say hello, great post. Hit enter. Let's add 2 more seconds or 3 more seconds for the post to be loaded, and then we're going to hit on the next button, on this button right here. So let's get that button, so I can just take a previously created action, Control C, Control V, Control copy and Control paste, click inside of it, go inside of the UI elements, add a new UI element, and get this little red button right here. Button. All right, let's do the button. Let's save it. I bet this one is going to be also pretty messed up, so we're just gonna edit an image fallback button. Okay, this should take a screenshot, and that's pretty much it. Now what we have to do is repeat this 10 times. So let's repeat this, for example, 10 times, 100 times, a billion times, as many times as we want. So let's add a loop. There's different kinds of loop. This is a loop that we say how many times we want to repeat certain actions. So we're gonna start from 1, we're gonna finish at 10, we're gonna increase by 1, and this is going to make it so that everything that is inside of this start and finish is going to be repeated 9 times. So we're gonna click on the, no, this is going to be outside. We're gonna click on the like, we're gonna click on the comment, we're gonna add the comment, wait 2 seconds, so we're gonna post our comment, we're gonna click on next, we're gonna click on like, comment, add the comment, post, click on next, and so on for 9 times. Let's see if this is going to work or not. So before we do anything, let's just close everything. Let's remove this like, because if the image is different than what we have spied, it is going to fail our automation. So let's close this as well, run our process, and see if it works.
You broke up a little bit. What did you say will happen if it's already liked?
So if it's already liked, the image that we spied or that we've made is going to be different. So it's not going to work. So we have to make sure that we manage kind of errors and issues. But let's see first of all if this is kind of working. So if this was already liked, the image that we've selected as a connector excuse me, would have not found it. So all right, so this is working. Let's add hello great post, click enter, and then let's see if it finds the next button. It waits for like 3 or 4 seconds, clicks on the next button. Now we should add like a wait of a few seconds for the post to load. So let's do that immediately.
So it will time out if it takes too long to load?
Yeah, kind of, yes. There is options that you can add, like for example, like click link on web page. you can go in advanced and be like timeout on web page load. You can add in the time, for example. So it's gonna wait for like 60 seconds and kind of timeout. But if there is just a pop-up that doesn't consider it as waiting for the page to load, so you have to add like something like wait manually. So I would say like maybe 10 seconds would be a good time to wait. Let's see if this thing has even loaded. No, this thing has not even loaded. Is there a reason? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it again. And here in the click like, I'm going to make sure that if there is an error, I'm just going to go to the next action. It's not going to break. So if I already like that post, in this case, it's just going to go to the next action and yeah, and not break the connection. So let's see. Alright, it clicked on the thing. It's gonna add another comment. It's gonna click post it again. I'm being aggressive on this post. Now it's gonna click on next, but I have no idea why it's not loading the next post.
Is there any way to make it smart, like thinking, like if post doesn't load, just go to next one?
Yes, there is, absolutely. But why is this one also not loading? What if I click on this one and then I click on next? Yeah, but okay.
So not letting you load when you go to the next image, but letting you load when you exit off of it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I think this might be a bug in my browser or something. Maybe the fact that I'm disabling ads, not 100% sure. But yeah, if it's up, it did work. It is actually working. Now it's working. It just requires time. So what we could do here, for example, is we could tell it like, all right, so for example, you click on the next button, or you click on, so you can click on like, you want to click on this, but it's not loading. So we tell it, go to conditions, no, go to flow control. We add a label all the way on the end. We call it skip. And then if there is an error in this action right here, we are going to tell it just go, continue the flow run, go to a label that's called skip. And what is it going to do? Is going to just click on the next button, wait 10 seconds, it is going to just skip. It's just going to skip, click on the next button and repeat the thing. Let's try it out. Yeah, but this is not loading for some strange reason. But let's try out to see what we have built here. And the more, the better and better you get in building these automations, the more and more things you start automating. And yeah, and right now people are asking for a lot of these services. But yeah, time is actually that. Oh, look, all of our posts are here. This is the account I'm using. Okay. Okay, now we should click on next. Should wait for like 10 seconds. And click on next. Now this is going to go into error. And it's going to click on to next again. Okay, click on next again.
I'm actually just having the same issue on my end.
Yeah,
When I try to click X, it shows nothing unless I exit off and go back to the post.
it's weird, right? I mean, why is the button
Yeah.
there if you cannot go on to next? However, we are cycling through the posts until it's going to find one that loads, kind of. So yeah.
Okay. We'll be able to do this on my end. Do we have enough time for that?
In 1 minute, I gotta disconnect, but I'll share you the code. I'll put it on Discord and I'll share it with you. And then we can also connect at a later date. We can follow up on this process or another process that you're building.
Okay. So I gotta join a Discord group.
You gotta join the Discord group, you gotta subscribe, and you gotta stay updated on the RPA Champions news.
I'm about to say we're subscribed to the YouTube channel already.
Are awesome, man. Cool. Cool.
Make sure we join the Discord group.
Cool, man. All right. You have any other questions? Yeah, this thing
I guess
is.
this is the main ones right now, and we our later call kind of solidify this and probably talk about the real estate process because those are probably like the two main processes. I think once I get that going, that'd be helpful because I've been using retail. I've been getting better with retail, and it's very interesting how it uses 11 labs and things like that with the calling automation. But web-based things, since I might be leaning off of browser use and there's nothing currently in the market right now besides chat GPT when you pay for like the higher tiers. So I would definitely want to get more involved with Power Automate and get more hands-on with it
Yeah,
until
man.
things
Yeah.
starts developing.
Yeah, exactly. It's depends on always on what you're doing, and obviously it's not gonna automate everything that you do, but for like some of those things like research part that you search for the houses and then you double check and so on, it can automate. But it can also make you think like, oh man, I know this technology. I can automate things. Now I can do things that previously I didn't even consider doing because they were too time consuming, too manual, too labor intensive, too whatever. Or maybe I did them just once and they were like, oh man, I'm never gonna repeat this. Like, I don't know, posting into multiple groups on LinkedIn to promote your thing or whatever. Like, yeah, you do it once, but
Right.
then it becomes a chore and it becomes like something that like, yeah, you would never wanna repeat again.
I got you.
Cool, man. All right. I'm gonna disconnect and let's keep in touch. And yeah, and maybe we do another one of these
When
sessions.
should we schedule the next call? When should we
What?
schedule the next call? So when should we schedule the next call?
I think sometime next week. But reach out to me over email because I gotta check. I gotta check out the calendar. But yeah, it could be like either Monday or Tuesday of next week, more or less at the same time.
Got you.
And yeah, in the email also let me know if you wanna see like what is the process you wanna do, so I kind of check it out a little
All right.
bit maybe ahead. So like we did for Instagram today, came a little bit of a surprise. There were so many complicated selectors. So if I checked it out previously, maybe I could have spent a little bit of time of finding the right selector without having to use the images as backup. But I mean, images seem to have turned out just fine. So it worked just fine. Cool, man.
Okay, I got you.
Awesome. All right.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today and going over this with me today. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, man. No worries. For the subscribers of the RPA Champion.